Well, hello and good evening, Plainfield, and thank you for joining me for the weekly live chat. I appreciate you being here to be with us this evening. It has been a challenging week, as there have all been. It has been a challenging week, as there have all been since our nation was attacked by the COVID-19 virus. I hope that everyone is practicing distancing and doing their best to stay safe. I offer my condolences to those who have lost loved ones. We offer our empathy and support to those infected or caring for the sick. We are grieving collectively as a community and as a country, but we will get through this by helping each other.
Buenas tardes, Plainfield, y gracias por acompañarnos en este chat semanal en vivo. Les aprecio por conectarse. Ha sido una semana desafiante, como lo han sido desde que nuestra nación fue atacada por el virus COVID-19. Espero que todos estén practicando el distanciamiento social y están haciendo todo lo posible para mantenerse a salvo. Ofrecemos nuestras condolencias a quienes han perdido sus seres queridos y también nuestra empatía y apoyo a las personas afectadas, infectadas o quienes están cuidando a los enfermos. Estamos sufriendo colectivamente como país y como comunidad, pero lo superaremos ayudándonos uno a otro y mutuamente.
I am joined on the chat today by members of my administration as well as the management of the Plainfield Municipal Utilities Authority.
Hoy me acompañarán en el chat los miembros de mi administración, así como la administración de la PMUA.
I'd like to start by addressing the question that is probably uppermost in your minds. When will a testing center open in Plainfield, and where will it be located? After several conversations with representatives from the county, it has been decided that mobile testing is the only option available at this time for testing our residents.
Me gustaría comenzar con la pregunta que probablemente sea lo más importante en sus mentes. ¿Cuándo se abrirá un centro de pruebas en Plainfield y dónde será ubicado? Después de varias conversaciones con representantes del condado, se decidió que las pruebas movibles son la única opción disponible en este momento para evaluar a nuestros residentes.
Many people in Plainfield face transportation challenges. This is borne out by the fact that despite the rising numbers of people infected here, only a small fraction of those were tested at the Kane University drive-through testing center.
Muchas personas en Plainfield enfrentan desafíos de transporte. Esto se está confirmado por el hecho que a pesar del crecimiento número de personas infectadas aquí, solo una pequeña fracción de ellas fueron evaluadas en el centro de pruebas de manejo en la Universidad de Keene.
A mobile testing unit will provide greater access to testing and will allow for more of our residents to be tested for the virus.
Una unidad de prueba movible será un mayor acceso a que las personas puedan obtener las pruebas y para que nuestros residentes se puedan hacer estas pruebas del virus.
Mobile testing will alleviate the stress on those who are not well and have to struggle to get to a test site. Additionally, when a mobile test unit goes to a location that is home to multiple occupants living in close quarters, and one person is unwell, all the residents at the location will be tested. In this way, we will begin to isolate the infection and lessen the spread of the virus.
Las pruebas movibles aliviarán el estrés en aquellos que no estén bien y tienen que luchar para llegar a un sitio de prueba. Además, cuando una unidad movible de prueba va a ser un lugar donde viven varios ocupantes y que estén en también lugares encerrados, y si las personas no se encuentran bien, todos los residentes de ese lugar van a ser evaluados. De esta manera comenzaremos a aislar la infectación y disminuir el crecimiento.
People who feel unwell will begin the process by calling our hotline number. A nurse will go over the symptoms and take their information. The individual's information will be entered into the database, and they will receive a call back with a time and date that the mobile unit will come to their address to administer the test. If the symptoms are found to be chronic, they will be referred to a medical facility for immediate care.
Las personas que se sienten mal comenzarán el proceso llamando a nuestro número de línea directa. Una enfermera recibirá los síntomas y tomará esa información. La información del individuo será ingresada en la base de datos y esa persona recibirá una llamada con una fecha y hora en que la unidad movible llegará a su dirección para administrar la prueba. Si se descubre que los síntomas son crónicos, esa persona será llevada a un centro médico para recibir atención inmediata.
Out of an abundance of caution, we have to move the launch date to Friday. That's this coming Friday. We wanted to ensure that we were doing everything possible rather than rushing to bring an incomplete solution to our residents. The hotline number and all other pertinent information will be disseminated on Friday. It will be posted on the city's website, in my newsletter, on social media, PCTV, and will be shared by robocall.
Por precaución tuvimos que trasladar la fecha del lanzamiento al viernes. Queríamos asegurarnos de que estábamos haciendo todo correctamente en lugar de apresurarnos a brindar una solución incompleta a nuestros residentes. El número de la línea directa y toda otra información pertenece y se va a dar el viernes. Y esto se va a publicar en el sitio web de la ciudad, en mi bulletin, en mis redes sociales y en PCTV, y compartiremos también esa información por robocall.
As of today, the total number of positive cases in Plainfield stands at 1,174. And the total number of people under quarantine stands at 1,470.
A partir de hoy, el total de los casos positivos son 1,174 y número total de personas en cuarentena es 1,470.
The ages range from 24 days old to 96 years old.
El rango de
It
edad
always
es
saddens me. It always saddens me whenever I have to report the loss of one of our residents. And as of today, the number of deaths has risen to 23. We lost one male, 65 years old, and African American.
Siempre causa tristeza en mi corazón dar esas noticias, y el rango de edad es de 24 años a 96 años, y hay una nueva muerte también. El muerte total son 23 personas.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to every family that has lost a loved one as a result of the COVID-19 virus, and it saddens me that we're losing so many of our residents.
Nuestras oraciones y condolencias para cada persona que ha perdido a un ser querido, y nos causa tristeza a todos como comunidad.
The Office of Emergency Management has been managing the response to the barrage of calls that have been coming in on a daily basis. We were able to secure a FEMA rescue squad vehicle through the county OEM This emergency service rescue squad unit will assist the Plainfield Rescue Squad who has been inundated and working around the clock to provide response wherever it's needed the most.
La oficina de emergencias ha estado respondiendo a la respuesta y de todas las llamadas que se están recibiendo directamente. Podemos asegurar un vehículo de rescate de FEMA a través del OEM del condado. Esta unidad se encargará que todo el tiempo, durante todo el día, ellos van a dar la respuesta y van a dar ayuda donde más se necesita en nuestra comunidad.
Last week, in the question and answer session, we were asked about urban enterprise zone funding to help small businesses. Well, today I have an answer. We will be using urban enterprise zone funds to provide much needed relief to affected businesses. Small businesses in our city will be able to access between $3,500 up to $10,000 to provide relief for the losses suffered during this shutdown. We are in the process of establishing a review committee and will share details later on how businesses can apply for these funds.
La semana pasada en la sesión de preguntas y respuestas se nos preguntó sobre la financiación de UEF para ayudar a las pequeñas empresas. Bueno, hoy yo les tengo una respuesta. Vamos a utilizar los fondos del Enterprise Urbano para dar ayuda muy necesaria a las empresas afectadas. Las pequeñas empresas en nuestra ciudad podrán recibir entre $3,500 a $10,000 para recibir alivio de todas las pérdidas y sufrimientos que está causando este cierre. Estamos en el proceso de establecer un comité para compartirles estos detalles y más adelante de cómo ustedes van a poder dar la solicitud para obtener estos fondos.
I want to remind you that the City of Plainfield has established the Plainfield COVID-19 Relief Fund, and we are accepting donations from anyone who's able to contribute. Again, every single donation made will be used to help our fellow Plainfield residents who are in need. We cannot stand by and watch as people suffer from lack of food, medical supplies, and other essential items. So many are without a source of income and are struggling just to find a meal each day, not to mention finding the means to pay other bills. This is basic survival, and we are committed to helping in any way that we can.
Quiero recordarles que la ciudad ha establecido el Fondo de Ayuda del COVID-19 de Plainfield y estamos aceptando donaciones de cualquier persona que pueda contribuir. Una vez más, cada donación realizada se utilizará para ayudar a nuestros compañeros y residentes de Plainfield que lo necesiten. No podemos esperar y observar cómo personas sufren de falta de alimentos, medicamentos y otros artículos esenciales. Muchos no tienen una fuente de ingreso y están luchando solo para encontrar comida todos los días, sin mencionar encontrar los medios para poder pagar otras cuentas. Esto es una sobrevivencia básica y estamos comprometidos a ayudar de cualquier manera que nosotros podamos.
If you would like to help with either a check or by donating food or essential items, you can drop off your donation at any of our 3 firehouses between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. These locations are the headquarters at 315 Central Avenue, Engine 3 Station at 1147 West 3rd Street, or Engine 4 Station at 1015 South Avenue. Checks or money orders should be made payable to the Plainfield COVID-19 Relief Fund and mail or drop to the Office of the Mayor, 515 Watchung Avenue, Plainfield, New Jersey, 07060.
Si desea ayudar con un cheque, una donación de alimentos o artículos esenciales, pueden dejar su donación en cualquiera de nuestras 3 estaciones de bomberos entre las horas de 9 de la mañana y 6 de la noche. La sede en la 315 Central Avenue, la estación en la 1147 calle 3 y en también la estación en la calle de South Avenue del 1015. Los cheques los cheques deben hacerse a nombre del Plainfield COVID Relief Fund y enviarse por correo o enviarlo a la oficina del alcalde, y la dirección es 515 Watchung Avenue, Plainfield, New Jersey 07060.
Many of you ask, what will be done to help the homeless and unsheltered population in Plainfield during this crisis and to minimize the spread of the virus among them? We have an answer to that question or that concern. We'll be distributing care packets over the next few days. Each care packet contains a toothbrush, toothpaste, hand sanitizer, moist towels, disposable towels, a comb, a bar of soap, a roll of toilet paper, a pair of socks, and arguably, most importantly, a face mask. The key to stopping the spread of COVID-19 is by ensuring that everyone in our city is adhering to proper hygiene practices and that those with the virus do not infect others.
Muchos de ustedes preguntaron qué se haría para ayudar a la población la población que vive sin hogar, la población de los indigentes en Plainfield, y lo que hicimos es que tenemos una respuesta para su preocupación. Vamos a distribuir paquetes de atención y de cariño en los próximos días. Cada paquete que vamos a dar va a tener el contenido de un cepillo de dientes, pasta de dientes, desinfectante para las manos, toallas húmedas, toallas desechables, un peine, un jabón, un rollo de papel higiénico y posiblemente lo más importante, una mascarilla facial. La clave para detener el avance del COVID-19 es asegurarse de que todos en nuestra ciudad cumplan con las prácticas de higiene adecuadas y que aquellos con el virus no infecten a otras vidas.
There has also been concern about our senior citizens, and we will also be delivering care packages to them beginning tomorrow. The packages will contain a roll of paper towel, a hand sanitizer, hand wipes, shampoo, hand warmers, hand soap, a toothbrush, toothpaste, and a face mask, as well as other essential items.
También ha habido preocupación por nuestros ciudadanos de la tercera edad y también les enviaremos paquetes de atención a partir de mañana. Los paquetes van a tener un rollo de toalla de papel, un desinfectante de manos, toallitas para las manos, shampoo, jabón de manos, un cepillo de diente, pasta de diente y una mascarilla también, así como otros artículos esenciales.
Since the onset of the COVID-19 virus in Plainfield, we've tried our best through various mediums to bring you daily updates and keep you abreast of what is happening. We've had to adapt very quickly to a rapidly changing situation, and we are using all of the available resources to fight back in every way possible.
Desde el crecimiento del virus COVID-19 en Plainfield, hemos hecho todo lo posible a través de varios medios para brindarles información actualizadas diarias y mantenerlos al tanto de lo que está sucediendo. Hemos tenido que adaptarnos muy rápidamente a un cambio y una situación que cada día cambia, y estamos utilizando todos los recursos disponibles para luchar en todas las formas posibles.
Let me remind you that although most of our employees are now working remotely, City Hall is open for business. We are all responding to phone calls and emails and conducting most of our business online as far as possible. We've made arrangements for the offices that cannot complete their tasks remotely to have staggered in-office hours in order to continue to provide residents with the services they need. We are committed to getting you what you need, even as we deal with these new challenges.
Permítame recordarles que aunque la mayoría de nuestros empleados ahora trabajan de forma remota, la ciudad y la municipalidad todavía está abierto para ustedes. Todos respondemos a las llamadas telefónicas, correos electrónicos y realizamos la mayor parte de nuestros negocios en línea en la medida de lo más que nosotros podamos hacer posible. Hemos hecho arreglos para que las oficinas que no puedan completar sus tareas de forma remota hayan y tengan las horas de oficina para continuar brindando ayuda a los residentes y a los servicios que los residentes necesitan de sus casas. Nos comprometemos a brindarles lo que necesitan, incluso cuando nos enfrentamos a estos nuevos desafíos.
I want to encourage everyone to remain engaged as we shelter in place and practice social distancing. In our Monday newsletter, we included virtual events that you can enjoy from the safety of your homes. There are links, dates, and times to virtual church services online and on PCTV. You can enjoy the opera or a live show performed by the Plainfield Multicultural Arts Center. There is also information on engaging activities to keep the kids occupied.
Quiero motivar a todos a permanecer comprometidos incluso mientras nos refugiamos en el lugar y practicamos el distanciamiento social. En nuestro bulletin del lunes incluimos eventos virtuales que pueden disfrutar desde la seguridad de sus hogares. Hay enlaces, fichas y horarios a los servicios que la iglesia está virtual o en línea o en el PCTV. Pueden disfrutar de la ópera o de un espectáculo en vivo realizado por el Centro de Artes del municipio de Plainfield. También hay información sobre actividades interesantes para mantener a sus hijos ocupados.
The Plainfield Public Library has added a service to the online chat reference feature through their website, where you can speak to one of their live employment assistance coaches for help on your job search and resume review.
La Biblioteca Pública de Plainfield ha agregado un servicio a la función de la referencia del chat en línea a través de su sitio web donde tú puedes hablar con uno de sus entrenadores de la librería para tener asistencia de empleo y para obtener ayuda en tu búsqueda de trabajo y tu revisión de tu currículum.
In May, the library will begin offering free live online computer training workshops on topics such as Microsoft Office and digital literacy. A schedule and sign-up information will be posted soon. These new services are funded in partnership with the City of Plainfield and the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development. The library already has a variety of self-directed online services currently available to get your training started. Your library card gives you free access to a range of databases and learning platforms such as Rosetta Stone and Knowledge City.
En mayo, la biblioteca comenzará a ofrecer talleres gratuitos de capacitación en línea sobre temas como Microsoft Office Suite y Digital Literacy. Pronto se publicará un horario y información de registro. Estos nuevos servicios se financiarán en la asociación con la ciudad de Plainfield y el Departamento de Trabajo y el Desarrollo Laboral de New Jersey. La biblioteca ya cuenta con una variedad de servicios en línea autodirigidos actualmente disponibles para comenzar tu capacitación. Su tarjeta de la biblioteca te brinda acceso gratuito a una variedad de bases de datos y plataformas de aprendizaje como Rosetta Stone y Knowledge City.
As we all adjust to the current situation, the library will continue to adjust and expand remote services to keep Plainfield working. For more information on any of the services listed above, please email literacy@plfdpl.info or visit the website at plainfieldlibrary.info. You can still stay safe while looking for a job. On May 20th to 22nd, the city of Newark will host a virtual job fair, so we encourage you to take advantage of that. Details on all of the above are in my newsletter that went out today, or you can contact communications at plainfieldnj.gov for more information.
A la medida que todos nos adaptamos a la situación actual, la biblioteca continuará ajustando y expandiendo los servicios remotos para ayudar a que la ciudad de Plainfield siga funcionando. Para obtener más información sobre cualquiera de los servicios, envía un correo electrónico a literacy@plfdpl.info o visita el sitio web de plainfieldlibrary.info. Todavía puede mantenerse seguro mientras busca un trabajo y desde el 20 al 22 de mayo, la ciudad de Newark va a organizar una feria virtual de trabajo y les animamos que se conecten a esa feria virtual.
I want to remind you that Governor Phil Murphy recently announced that the state has secured relief options with private student loan services to expand on current federal protections for borrowers. Relief options by participating services include providing a minimum of 90 days of forbearance relief for borrowers, waiving late payment fees for borrowers, ensuring no borrower is subject to negative credit reporting, ceasing debt collection lawsuits for 90 days, and working with eligible borrowers to enroll them in other applicable borrower assistance programs.
Quiero recordarles que el gobernador Phil Murphy anunció recientemente que el Estado ha asegurado opciones de alivio con administradores privados de préstamos para la protección y también ha proveído opciones de ayuda y servicios para participantes. Incluyen un mínimo de 90 días de alivio para aquellos que están, para los que necesitan un préstamo, extensión de cargos por pagos atrasados o prestados, asegurados que ningún de estos préstamos será sujeto y informaciones también de cartas de crédito. Y también también ha prohibido estos programas para la asistencia de la comunidad y muchos de esos programas son divididas por 90 días.
In my daily written updates, which are posted here and on Facebook and on the city's website, I give the daily number of those infected by the virus in Plainfield. I know it is disturbing to see the numbers rise every day. However, as we do more testing, we expect that those numbers will continue to rise until our preventative measures begin to flatten the curve. What do we mean by flattening the curve?
En mis actualizaciones diarias escritas que se publican aquí en Facebook y en el sitio web de la ciudad, el número diario de personas infectadas por el virus en Plainfield cada día crece. Sin embargo, a medida que hacemos más pruebas, esperamos que estos números continúan en aumento hasta que nuestras medidas preventativas comiencen a aplanar la curva. ¿Qué queremos decir con aplanar la curva?
Let me try to answer that question about flattening the curve. The ideal goal in fighting an epidemic or pandemic is to completely halt the spread, but slowing it down is critical. This reduces the number of cases that are active at any given time, which in turn gives doctors, hospitals, police, schools, and vaccine manufacturers time to prepare and respond without becoming overwhelmed. Most hospitals can function with 10% reduction in staff, but not with half their people out at once.
El objetivo ideal es en la lucha contra esta epidemia o pandemia es detener por completo el avance, pero retrasarlo es crítico y es difícil. Esto reduce la cantidad de casos que están activos en un momento dado, lo que a su vez brinda a los médicos, hospitales, policías, escuelas y fabricantes de vacunas para tiempo para prepararse y responder sin sentirse sobrecargados. La mayoría de los hospitales pueden funcionar con una reducción de personal del 10%, pero no con la mitad de su personal a la vez.
The more people reporting with the virus on a given day, the higher the curve. A high curve means the virus is spreading fast. A low curve shows that the virus is spreading slower. Fewer people are diagnosed with the disease on any given day. Keeping the curve down, diminishing the rate at which new cases occur, prevents overtaxing the finite resources available to treat the disease.
Cuantas más personas reportan con el virus en un día determinado, mayor será la curva. Una curva alta significa que el virus está avanzando rápidamente. Una curva baja muestra que el virus está avanzando lentamente. A menos personas que se les está diagnosticando la enfermedad en un día determinado. Ahora, mantener la curva baja disminuyendo la velocidad a la que ocurren los nuevos casos, esto va a evitar el sobrecargar de los recursos finitos disponibles para poder tratar este virus.
Diseases spread when one person gives it to one or more individuals who go on to give it to more people, and so on. How fast this occurs depends on many factors, including how contagious the disease is, how many people are vulnerable, and how quickly they get sick. There are 3 T's that are considered to be key factors in stopping the spread: test, treat, and trace.
Las enfermedades se avanzan cuando una persona no toma las precauciones necesarias y así luego lo dan a otras personas y así sucesivamente va creciendo. La rapidez con que eso ocurre depende de muchos factores, incluyendo qué tan contagiosa es la enfermedad, cuántas personas son vulnerables y qué tan rápido se enferman. Hay 3 cosas que son factores claves para detener el avance del virus. Estas son la prueba, el tratamiento y el retraso.
So how do we flatten the curve? Simply by keeping people apart in time and space with social distancing measures, self-isolation, and actual quarantine decreases An actual quarantine decreases opportunities for transmission. By asking people to work from home or to stagger their working hours enables individuals to stay apart, limiting the spread of the virus. That is social distancing in action.
Entonces, ¿cómo podemos planear la curva? Mantener a las personas separadas por un tiempo en su casa. Esto es, el aislamiento y la cuarentena real ayuda a que la curva y el avance del virus crezca. A pedirle a la gente que trabaje desde casa y trabaje con sus horas permite que las personas puedan mantenerse más separadas, lo que limita el avance del virus. Y esto es el distanciamiento social en acción.
By wearing masks in public, washing hands frequently even after wearing gloves, washing clothes that have been worn outside even once, and maintaining a perimeter of at least 6 feet from others when you must go out. By spreading the number of infected over a greater number of days, the hospitals wouldn't be overwhelmed, and they'll be able to give patients the attention and care they deserve. This is how we must fight COVID-19. But most importantly, we must test, treat, and trace.
Al usar máscaras en público, lavarse las manos con frecuencia, incluso después de usar guantes, lavar la ropa después que ha sido usado afuera, incluso solo una vez, mantenerse a una distancia de por lo menos 6 pies de los demás cuando uno sale. Al destruir la cantidad de infectados durante un mayor número de días, los hospitales no se sentirán sobrecargados y podrán brindar ayuda a los pacientes que necesitan la atención y la atención que los pacientes merecen. Así es como debemos de luchar sobre el virus COVID-19. Lo más importante es que debemos de probar y tratar.
So lastly, before I take your questions, I know you've indicated that what you want to speak about during these interactive sessions is COVID-19. But I need to remind you how vitally important it is for you to participate in the census count. If you haven't already filled out the census form online, I implore you to take 10 minutes and do so in the next day or two. We need every single person living in Plainfield to be counted, from babies to grandparents. You need to say, I live here, so that we can get our fair share of resources from the federal government.
Por último, antes de responder a sus preguntas, sé que lo que más han preguntado y lo que más quieren saber en estas secciones interactivas es del COVID-19. Pero necesito recordarles también que es muy importante que ustedes puedan participar en el contado del census. Si usted aún no ha completado el formulario del census en línea, le ruego que tome 10 minutos y lo haga en el siguiente día o 2. Necesitamos que cada persona que vive en Plainfield se cuente, desde los bebés hasta los ancianos. Debe decir, vivo aquí, para que podamos obtener nuestra parte justa de los recursos del gobierno federal.
When you refuse to be counted, you're allowing funds to be diverted elsewhere. Funds for education of our children, fixing our roads, helping those in our community who need help with food, health services, etc. I need to emphasize that the census does not care if you are a citizen of the United States or not. They will not ask that question. Your information will absolutely not be shared with Immigration Services or any other federal agency. The census is sworn to protect the information of everyone who fills out the form. The census is simply to count all the people who live in the United States, nothing more and nothing less. Your information is protected from disclosure to anyone or any agency by the Constitution of the United States.
Cuando usted se niega a ser contado, permite que los fondos se vayan a otro lugar. Fondos para la educación de nuestros hijos, para la reparación de nuestras calles y también para ayudar a aquellos en nuestra comunidad que necesitan ayuda con alimentos, servicios de salud y etcétera. Necesito enfatizar que el census no le importa si usted es ciudadano de los Estados Unidos. No harán esa pregunta, absolutamente no. Se compartirá su información con los servicios de migración ni con ninguna otra agencia federal. El census ha jurado a proteger la información de todos los que llenan el formulario. El census es simplemente una manera de contar a todas las personas que viven en Estados Unidos, nada más y nada menos. Su información está protegida y su información está protegida de ser compartida a cualquier persona o agencia por la Constitución de los Estados Unidos.
You can fill out the census online by going to census.gov and following the directions. Please do so today.
Puede completar el census en línea yendo a census.gov y siguiendo las instrucciones. Por favor, hazlo hoy.
I want to once again acknowledge the hard work of our first responders and those who are on the front lines of fighting this invisible enemy we come to know as COVID-19. Our doctors, nurses, EMS, janitors, fire, police. It cannot be said too much and too often how appreciative we are of those who are sacrificing. You are making a significant contribution to help keep us safe each and every day for as long as we go through this crisis.
Quiero reconocer una vez más el arduo trabajo de nuestros enfermeros y doctores y de aquellos que están peleando en la primera línea de lucha contra este enemigo invisible. Nuestros médicos, enfermeros, EMS, consejeros, bomberos, policía, no se puede decir demasiado y con demasiada frecuencia lo agradecidos que estamos por sus sacrificios que están haciendo para ayudarnos a mantenernos sanos y seguros.
I appreciate those of you who are practicing social distancing and staying at home, even though it means in some cases the loss of total social contact. We understand what we have to do, and if we adhere to these rules, we will get back to a normal life sooner rather than later. It is not easy, but the majority of our residents have complied, and I want to thank you and acknowledge your efforts to stop the spread of COVID-19.
Aprecio a aquellos de ustedes que practican el distanciamiento social y se quedan en casa a pesar de que en algunos casos significa la pérdida del contacto social total. Entendemos lo que tenemos que hacer y si hacemos estas reglas, volveremos a vivir una vida normal lo más antes posible. No es fácil, pero la mayoría de nuestros residentes han cumplido y quiero agradecerles y reconocer sus esfuerzos para detener el avance del COVID-19.
I just want to remind those who have tuned into this live chat that I have members of my administrative team, as well as some of them are on camera, the others who are standing by, willing, ready, and able to to provide some of the answers to the questions that you may have.
Solo les quiero recordar que aquí están mis miembros de mi equipo, algunos están en la cámara y algunos no los pueden ver, pero están listos para responder a sus preguntas.
Jazz, would you begin by reading the first question that we received in advance? I think you should unmute your phone.
Sorry.
That makes a difference.
The first, yes, Mayor. The first question we got was from Dee Johnson, and she says, I was reading Tap into Plainfield where the COVID-19 virus numbers as of 4/21/20 has risen to 1108 and 1326 self-quarantined. I'd like to know how you're verifying that the individuals are actually self-quarantined and not out and about in the neighborhood. I ask because the number of cases are going up, which makes me think they're spreading the disease, especially since on 4/1/20, we had 108 and 20 days later, we have an additional 1,000 cases. Please elaborate on how you're verifying they're isolated. I'm sheltering in place, but I do have to go out for essential items. That's from D. Johnson.
As far as that question is concerned, I don't know that there is a way with the resources that we have for us to verify or to police people that are in self-quarantine, but I will ask our Director Brown to weigh in on that question, and maybe if Director Burgess has anything to add. Director Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. That is certainly one of the challenges about this pandemic is making sure those who are ill self-quarantine or quarantine.
I think we're
that
having
is
some
one of the
interference.
major reasons why we want to shut down the complete stay-at-home order from the governor.
Yeah, we were having a bit of difficulty there, Shep, with your microphone. Can Lisa add anything?
I can. As Director Brown was saying, he was saying it's a bit difficult in order to police that situation of quarantine. But one thing that I can make a suggestion is if everyone would adhere to the mask and wearing your mask, especially out in public or even in your homes, that this would help us with the stop of the spread of this virus.
And that's a very important point made by Director Burgess, the wearing of masks. In my executive order number 4, as well as the governor's, all of our residents are supposed to be wearing masks whenever they leave home to go out into the public. So that's one way of protecting yourself and others from the spread of the virus. Let's do some Spanish translation of, I forgot for a moment there, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, I can sum it up. La pregunta era cómo nosotros hemos visto cómo los números han crecido de infectados y cómo la pregunta es cómo nosotros sabemos que los que están en cuarentena realmente están en cuarentena y no están saliendo. Lo que el director Shep dijo y el alcalde era que no hay forma directa de saber, por eso es que queríamos un shutdown del gobernador, pero confiamos que las personas en cuarentena se están manteniendo en cuarentena.
Next question from Jazz or Jen.
Hello. Okay, so this question is from Jeff Spellman. He asks, what will be the application process and evaluation criteria used for the Plainfield Relief Fund? Is there a way to send a donation online?
La pregunta es si habrá una aplicación o qué será el proceso para aplicar para la ayuda de Plainfield que está dando para el COVID Relief Fund.
The pieces are being put in place as we speak, but I'm going to call on Director Valerie Jackson to respond.
Yes, I would like to. The application process is going to be very simple. It is a one-page form that we're using. The criteria will mimic the New Jersey EDA grant program. And again, it's $3,500 to $10,000. You must be a UEZ business because we're using UEZ funds. So that will be the criteria. You will have the opportunity to also join UEZ to be entitled to the fund. And we will have a 3-person committee to review the applications. It's our intent to, within 10 days, be able to provide a check to the person.
Bueno, estamos ahora trabajando en eso. La aplicación va a ser muy sencilla, va a ser un formulario de una página y va a ser similar a la aplicación del grant. Y también tienes que ser parte de la asociación del UED para poder recibir este dinero. Entonces va a haber más información dada en nuestros próximos días y estamos también planeando que el dinero sea dado en 10 días.
Let's go to the next
La
question.
aplicación.
Thank you. Let's go to the next.
Yes, Mayor. This one came into the communications email as well. It's from M. Gomez, and it says, I wanted to find out if Plainfield will be assisting its residents with facial masks, just like New York did this past week. I know that facial masks are in high demand, but maybe if residents are given cloth masks with instructions of proper cleaning, care, handling, we can assure that all residents will have the means to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Do you think it's possible for Plainfield to provide this kind of assistance? Free facial masks to all residents.
La pregunta es si Plainfield puede dar mascarillas faciales gratuitas a cada uno de los residentes.
Yes, we will be assisting residents who don't have a face mask or some other form of facial covering. We will be distributing face masks, and our goal is to begin doing that as early as tomorrow. We have ordered 20,000 masks, and hopefully those will arrive sometime soon. But in the meantime, we will begin the distribution of the masks that we have in stock at the moment.
Sí, lo daremos a los residentes que aún no tienen mascarillas faciales y nuestro objetivo es comenzar a tomar esta acción mañana. Y ya hemos ordenado 20,000 mascarillas, pero mientras tanto vamos a dar las mascarillas que tenemos actualmente.
So again, the answer is yes, we will be distributing masks across the city to folks who don't have at this moment.
La respuesta es sí, la ciudad sí va a brindar mascarillas.
Let's go to the next.
This question came in from 2 residents. It's about the motorcycle riders who are grouped in to about 10 people in the high school parking lot. Is there anything being done about this?
La pregunta
I am going to
la pregunta
continue.
es que hay motocicletas que todavía se reúnen en Plainfield, si hay algo que va a hacer, que van a hacer para parar que estas personas se reúnan.
I hope that if that's the case, that something will be done. I am going to ask Director Burgess to address that.
Yes, good evening. That is a good question. We have been getting that a lot, and we are looking into different avenues of how to address this issue, because what's going to be the first priority is safety and making sure that the safety of the riders as well as the police officers that are involved. If we can safely enforce, we will. And if there are locations that you know that these bikes are being stored, you can notify the police department and let us know this information. But this is a subject that we've had dealt with for many years, and it's going on all across the state. And we're definitely looking at some means to address this, but doing it in the safest manner that we can for the community.
Sí, sí haremos algo y estamos buscando las diferentes maneras para poder solucionar este problema para la seguridad de ambos, aquellos que están en las motocicletas y también a la policía. Estamos vamos a hacer lo que podamos hacer. También si saben la información de dónde esto está sucediendo, nos hacen saber a la policía y lo vamos a hacer de la manera la mejor manera para ambos.
Director Burgess, is there a phone number that people can call when they encounter these situations?
Yes, they can call the non-emergency number, the 908-753-3131.
Si saben, este es el número que pueden llamar a la policía, que no es emergencia, 908-753-3131.
I would also like to remind, I'm sorry, sir. I would also like to remind the residents, especially those who may have these bikes, that they are illegal. The four-wheelers and the dirt bikes, they're not vehicles that can be properly registered. So these should not be driven or ridden on the roadway.
También me gustaría recordar a los residentes las motocicletas con 4 llantas no son legales, no pueden ser registradas legalmente, entonces también me gustaría recordarles eso.
Let's go to the next.
Yes, Mayor. Jennifer Popper wants to know if you're still going to use drones as you announced to promote social distancing like they're doing in Elizabeth.
La pregunta es si van a usar drones para promocionar la distancia social.
Yes, we will. We have a plan that is being worked on, and as soon as we're ready to go live with the drones, that will be communicated and our residents will know.
Sí, sí lo haremos, sí estamos trabajando en el plan y en lo más ya lo tengamos, ustedes como los residentes lo sabrán primero.
Let's go to the next question.
Okay, Eddie Oya asks, how is the courthouse going to move forward with cases?
La pregunta es, ¿cómo el juzgado va a seguir avanzando con los casos? ¿Cómo la corte va a seguir trabajando con los casos?
I believe courts are closed until sometime in May. Does anyone on the team know when that date is? But I am sure an announcement will come from the state and we will communicate that. Does anyone know the date by which or until which the courts will remain closed?
Mayor, the last notice that went out said until May 2nd.
Bueno, están cerradas las cortes hasta el 2 de mayo, pero ahora estamos al tanto del anuncio del Estado y les diremos lo que dicen.
That is information that we will communicate as soon as we get updates. You should know that the courts are not under the administrative control of the city. They're controlled differently since it's one of the branches of government that's independent of our city administration. It's a part of the judiciary, and we will communicate more information as soon as we know.
También les quiero decir que la corte no está controlada por la ciudad, sino es parte del gobierno, el gobierno lo tiene su propia parte, entonces no está controlada por la ciudad, pero cuando nosotros tengamos ya más noticias de eso, les avisaremos.
Let's go to the next question.
Mayor, you addressed this in your remarks regarding the tariffs coming to Plainfield, but Ruth Sykes addressed a question to Director Brown, wanting to know where tests are being given. So perhaps we could reiterate where they're currently being given and the plan moving forward.
La pregunta es dónde uno puede hacerse el examen, dónde hay locaciones para uno poderse hacer el examen y qué va a ser el plan de ahora en adelante.
Director Brown, you want to take that?
Sure. Can you? Okay. So in Union County, they can go to Keene University. There's a number they have to call. It's 908-214-7107.
Bueno, si ustedes son parte del condado de Union, que si vives en Plainfield, sí, puedes ir a la Universidad de Keene y el número de teléfono que puedes llamar es 908-214-7101.
That is for drive-through testing, which is currently being conducted at Kane University. However, as I mentioned at the beginning of my remarks, there will be mobile testing in Plainfield, which we will begin to publish the number that people can call to be and triage if they do need to be tested. We will be putting that number out on Friday. It will go out in the newsletter. It will be on social media. It will be on our website, and it will be on PCTV. We will be releasing that number on Friday that our residents can call to have access to the mobile testing unit that will begin service in Plainfield.
Bueno, también nosotros les vamos a dar la información de las pruebas movibles y les entregaremos esta información el viernes.
Let's go to the next question.
Beverly Chris asks, given the increasing number of COVID-19 cases in Plainfield, is the state of New Jersey reconsidering its decision to not reopen a portion of the Muhlenberg Hospital, given the nearest hospital is not accessible to the underserved populations in Plainfield?
Dado el incremento de casos, el crecimiento de casos en Plainfield, el estado de New Jersey está considerando abrir el hospital de Muhlenberg.
That decision was made some weeks ago not to have Muhlenberg cater to any of the COVID-19 cases or the overflow that might result from the stress of neighboring hospitals. So that decision has been made. In the meantime, as soon as the state lifts its let's call it a ban on non-essential construction, and by that I mean the state is allowing construction for low-income housing to go forward, but most other construction projects have been placed on hold. But as soon as that hold is lifted, construction will resume in earnest at the Muhlenberg site, and we will continue to work on the residential units that will be coming there, as well as the 200,000 square feet of a medical mall.
Esa decisión fue hecha hace semanas y la respuesta es que no va a ser reabierto por el incremento de los casos de COVID-19, pero al nomás el Estado quita el ban del trabajo que no es esencial, entonces seguiremos trabajando en el hospital de Muhlenberg para que sea un hospital que pueda servir a los demás y que ya pueda ser abierto, pero por el momento está cerrado.
Let's go to the next question.
Virginia Moscone wants to know. She said, I know this may not be urgent for some, but to ensure social distancing from our neighbors, I need to know if I need a permit to put a fence up in my backyard. And if so, how do I go about doing that since I can't go in person?
La pregunta es si yo necesito un permiso para poder poner una cerca afuera de mi casa.
Will Director Dabney respond to that question?
Yes, Mayor, that's more of the office is open on Tuesdays and Thursdays at City Hall. They can come and give a number that they can call, and they'll give them direct information to address that issue. The number is 908-482-3188. And the hours of 8 and noon, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Repeat that number, please.
And that issue will be addressed.
Repeat the number.
908-482-3118.
La respuesta es que la oficina está abierta los martes y los jueves y te podemos dar información directa si llamas a ese número 908-4823-188.
So I would add, please call City Hall to get all the guidance that you may need on that question.
Entonces pueden llamar a ese número para poder recibir toda la guianza que necesitan acerca de esa pregunta.
We'll move on to the next question.
Lisa Spellman Anderson. So are we waiting for the governor to give the total stay-in order to control the increase in cases?
Repeat that question, please.
Are we waiting for the governor to give the total stay-in order to control the increase in cases?
La pregunta es si estamos esperando que el gobierno dé el total número de casos que están incrementando en nuestro estado.
I am not sure what the person meant by that question. What I would say is that we have been doing everything possible. We have been putting out robocalls around the clock, practically every hour, asking people to stay at home, to wear face masks or other facial covering. There is a plethora of information that is being put out trying to encourage people to practice decent hygienic behavior, such as washing of hands, sanitizing, and things of that nature. So we are doing our part as a governmental entity to put controls in place that would help us to flatten the curve. We are doing all that we can. However, we can't, by waving a magic wand, have this virus disappear. So I can assure you that the city is doing its part, the county is doing its part, and the state is doing its part to help to flatten the curve and get this virus under control so that the governor can reopen the state of New Jersey and we at the municipal level can reopen our municipalities.
Estamos haciendo todo lo posible, enviando llamadas, que las personas usen mascarillas faciales, que se queden en casa. Hemos estado dando información para que sean higiénicos y estamos haciendo nuestra parte que podamos para que la curva se aplane. Pero tenemos que saber que este virus no se puede ir en un parpirar de ojos, pero es algo que es un trabajo y que cada parte del gobierno tiene que hacer su trabajo y yo sé que cada parte está haciendo su trabajo de lo que pueda.
Next question, please.
Mayor, this is more of a comment. Adriana Diaz Machado, she wanted to recognize our DPW department. She said they are essential workers like the first responders, they're out every day keeping the city clean, and she wanted to just say, good job, DPW.
Bueno, este es un comentario. Ella quería felicitar al departamento de DPW.
We appreciate that comment because we know how hard our DPW workers have been working each and every day to keep our city clean and to continue to provide a level of maintenance that our residents need and that they've come to expect. So I agree with that comment, and we do give a big shout out to our DPW crews. But I don't want to stop there. I want to also talk about the folks in our health division that's working around the clock every day. I want to talk about our police officers, our firefighters, all of the people that are at work in the city every day working for our municipality to make sure that we remain safe and that we do all that we can to continue to provide the services while having to take care of our own families. We have a task, and that is to take care of our city, our residents. And I appreciate all that our city employees are doing each and every day from the front lines.
Bueno, también reconocemos el departamento del DPW que está ayudando a mantener la ciudad limpia. Estamos de acuerdo y les damos una gran expresión de gratitud, pero también agradecemos a las personas en la división de salud, nuestra policía, los bomberos, aquellos trabajando por nuestra ciudad y por nuestra seguridad, pero también nosotros debemos de hacer nuestra tarea y nuestra parte, pero apreciamos a todos los que están trabajando en las primeras líneas.
Let's go to the next question.
This question is from a Hispanic resident, Manuel Hurtado. Do stores have the authority to raise the price of their products? Because there are stores where a case of water costs $8 or $9.
La pregunta es si las tiendas tienen la autoridad de poder cargar más de lo normal por sus productos.
Price gouging is illegal. And anytime stores raise their prices by more than 10%, that is considered to be price gouging. And if you are aware of any such incident, anything like that happening in our city, I want you to make sure that you report it. You can report it to our Plainfield Police Department. There are also some other numbers that we have, but I would suggest you start with our Plainfield Police Department so that they could check out the situation and help us to put some controls or to put a lid on that level of exploitation that people are faced with at this time. I am searching for the numbers that you can call, but actually you can call New Jersey Consumer Affairs at 973-504-6240. You can call the Office of the Attorney General at 609-292-4925. You can also call Citizen Services at 609-984-5828 to register any complaint about price gouging that you are witnessing or that you have evidence of in our city.
No, es ilegal. Cuando las tiendas aumentan los precios de más de 10%, es algo ilegal y se debe informar al departamento de policía o puedes llamar a esos números para reportarlo y estos son los números que ustedes pueden llamar. 973-504-6240. El otro número es 609-292-4925. Y el último número que pueden llamar para reportar esto es 609-984-5828. Pueden llamar estos números para poder dar la información de lo que ellos están haciendo de sobrecargar sus productos.
Let's go to the next question.
So, one or two people made a comment, Mayor, about seniors, being concerned about seniors not getting their stimulus checks. And the director of the senior center, Mrs. Sharon Peterson, responded in the comments, and I'd just like to share that. She said, "We are checking on our members each week via telephone well call check. If any senior has a question, we'll try to answer them all. Also, any stimulus questions, call 908-753-3506 and leave a message and they'll get back to them."
La pregunta era acerca de aquellos de tercera edad, de preguntas si ellos están bien o si los están chequeando bien. Y la coordinadora respondió y dijo que sí, pero si tienen cualquier pregunta pueden llamar al 908-753-3506. Ellos están haciendo todo lo posible para chequear y estar pendiente de ellos de lo mejor y la mejor manera que puedan.
Thank you, Director Peterson, for that response. We will make sure that we take care of our seniors and that we address their concerns in every way that we possibly can.
Bueno, gracias por esa respuesta, y también les queremos decir que estamos haciendo todo lo posible de cuidar de aquellos en tercera edad de nuestra ciudad y hacerlo de la mejor manera que podemos.
Let's hear the next question.
Chantal Rovayo asks, what is the city of Plainfield doing with businesses that are open and essential to make sure they are complying with COVID-19? Are cops or city officials doing routine checks?
La pregunta es, ¿qué está haciendo Plainfield para las tiendas que están abiertas y son esenciales? Si la policía está chequeando que están siguiendo las reglas de
I will
higiene.
ask Director Burgess to respond.
Yes, the police department, we are doing checks of essential and non-essential businesses that have been open that shouldn't be open. For the past week or so, there have been several violations that have been issued and forwarded to the Office of the Attorney General. If you do find out that there are some businesses that aren't complying with the governor's, with the governor's executive order, then you can just give us a call and we will definitely respond and look into it. But the prosecutor's office and the attorney general's office are taking all of these complaints very serious and have been allowing us to issue the summonses for those violations.
Sí, la policía está haciendo todo lo que pueden para controlar los negocios esenciales y aún aquellos que no son esenciales que estaban abiertos. Hemos enviado esta información al fiscal general y también nos pueden llamar porque estamos tomando esta información muy, muy en serio.
Let's go to the next question.
Walter G. Ramos Jr., mayor, wants to know if you've thought about getting together with other mayors from around the state to insist that the governor completely shut down the state. He feels it's the only hope that we have to control the pandemic.
La pregunta es si el alcalde se está reuniendo con los diferentes alcaldes de New Jersey para poder hablar con el gobernador para que el estado completamente se cierre. Y piensan que esta es la única manera de hacerlo. Es una pregunta al alcalde.
All of us as mayors across the state have been doing everything that we can to enforce the governor's executive orders, as well as to enforce executive orders that we ourselves have issued. And I believe that we at the local level are doing all that we can, or as much as we can, to make sure that people shelter in place, stay in their homes, and not come out on the streets to be a nuisance or to the essential workers that have to be out there. I believe that Governor Murphy has been doing an excellent job in leading this effort against the COVID-19 virus. And so I commend him for all that he has done and continues to do on a daily basis. We cannot shut down the entire state. Where would people get food? Where would people get their medicines? Where would people get all of the necessities to keep us alive as human beings? So a complete shutdown is out of the question, wouldn't work, would create more harm to the residents of the state. And so I think the governor has done an excellent job so far, and every day he is reevaluating to see what more can be done. But I commend the governor and the many mayors around the state that are fighting this battle every day from the front line.
Bueno, primeramente todos los alcaldes están haciendo todo lo que puedan para enforzar las órdenes ejecutivas de el gobernador. Estamos haciendo todo lo que podemos y para motivar a la gente que se queden en casa, que estén seguros en casa. Y yo creo que el gobernador está haciendo un excelente trabajo en guiando lo que él está haciendo, porque no podemos completamente cerrar el estado, porque entonces ¿dónde la gente podría comprar la comida? ¿Dónde la gente podría comprar su medicina? ¿Cómo podíamos mantenerlos vivos? Que el gobierno completamente se cierre, que el Estado completamente se cierre, no está en las cartas, haría más daño que haría hacer algo bueno. Entonces yo creo que el gobernador y todos los alcaldes están haciendo un gran trabajo.
Let's go to the next question.
Sam Cooper asks, can you share if the employees in your administration have gone to the apartment buildings in Plainfield and posted notices regarding COVID-19 resources available?
La pregunta es si la administración de ustedes han dado información a los ciudadanos residentes de la ciudad acerca del COVID-19.
I will begin by asking our OEM coordinator, who's our fire director, who's on the phone, to let me know what he can share about that. But in the meantime, I will ask Director Burgess if she has any information on that as well.
Yes, sir, I do have some information on that. There are several buildings that we have gone to, senior buildings like Plainfield Tower West and a few other places where we have spoken with the management there. We have had talked to them about putting out letters to the residents. We've actually gone to those locations and did some education of the residents. As of today, we were given some of the phone numbers of violators in those apartment buildings and made phone calls as well to them personally, letting them know the concerns that we may have had. So we haven't specifically done every building in town that way, but those that we get complaints about, we do. So if anyone has any concerns or complaints about their apartment building, please give us a call and we will address those issues with them.
No hemos chequeado cada apartamento, pero sí hemos chequeado los apartamentos que hemos recibido una mal conducta, una mal llamada o algo, una mal noticia de parte de ese apartamento de cómo ellos están haciendo y lo que ellos están haciendo durante este tiempo. Sí hemos hablado con muchos apartamentos y los hemos educado y también hemos hecho muchas llamadas, pero si tienen más información o más, si tienen un apartamento, un edificio que ustedes quieren que ellos hagan un reviso, entonces pueden llamar también.
Let's go to the next question.
Sorry, Mayor. This is not related to COVID-19, but Sam Candeso wanted to know what they could do if he wanted to request to have speed bumps installed. He said he lives in Arlington Avenue by Plainfield High School, and people are always speeding through the curved street, and they've almost crashed into him reversing out of the driveway.
I didn't really hear the question. Sorry, could you repeat it?
Repeat the question, Jazz.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The
No, I think it was
question
mine.
is, what can a resident do if they wanted to have speed bumps installed on their street? This resident specifically lives at Arlington Avenue by Plainfield High School and has a concern about people coming quickly around the curve. And they've almost crashed into him reversing out of his driveway, he says.
Ok, la pregunta es qué puede hacer un residente si quisiera instalar topes en la calle.
I would suggest you call Director Dabney about anything to do with infrastructure, with streets, speed bumps, anything to do with work in our roadway. And I would further suggest that you call Director Burgess if you have an issue relative to public safety. And the number that you can call for Director Burgess is 908-753-3131. That's the non-emergency number. Is that correct, Director Burgess?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And Director Dabney, yes. What number can you be reached at on any infrastructure questions?
908-753-3375. 908-753-3375.
908-753-3375. Let's go to the next question.
This message is from Anthony Howard. Is there a website or online service that's dedicated to the do's and don'ts in the city of Plainfield during this pandemic?
La pregunta es si hay un sitio web donde indica lo que uno sí puede hacer y no puede hacer durante esta pandemia.
I believe we have put out a lot of resources that would address that question, but I would go to Director Clinton Hunt to respond and to say where some of those resources that we have put out there can be found.
Sure, Mayor. We do have a page on the website which is dedicated to response to the COVID-19 virus. If you go on the website, it's on the right-hand side. We post the daily updates there as well as links to resources. We also put out a resource newsletter in addition to the other newsletters that we put out on Monday and Friday. We do one on Wednesday, just went out today actually, that has quite a number of resources that deal with how people can apply for jobs, apply for unemployment, where they can get relief for certain hardships, etc. A number of different things. So, and we also post those links on our social media pages.
Sí, la pregunta es que, bueno, la respuesta es que sí, hay muchos recursos en la página del sitio web. A la derecha están los enlaces, los recursos donde puedes obtener información sobre alivio para estas dificultades, alivio financieras y mucha información.
Let's go to the next question.
Oh, sorry. The other question is from Dora Johnson. She wanted to know what the process of tracing people who have come in contact with those who have contracted the virus. So in other words, those who have come in contact with infected, what's the process of tracing those and determining who needs to be quarantined?
Bueno, el proceso, la pregunta es ¿cuál es el proceso de localizar a quienes han entrado en contacto con las personas en el virus y cuál es el proceso para saber quiénes deben estar en cuarentena?
Let's see if Director Brown's microphone is working. Director Brown.
Hello? Yes?
Yes, can you respond to
the
that
process,
question?
yes. Thank you, Mayor. So the process of contact tracing is one where once the health division is notified a positive we then reach out to that individual and we ask them a series of questions, of which we try to go back about 3 days to see who they've spoken to, where they have gone, and any details that they can give us about who they spoke with this last 3 days.
Bueno, el proceso de retraso de contacto lo hacemos cuando la División de Salud ha dado positivo y hacemos una serie de preguntas hace 3 días atrás para poder ver dónde han estado, con quién han estado en contacto y así es como nosotros hacemos el retraso de contactos.
We're still having problems with Director Brown's microphone. Okay, yes, Director Brown.
Once we have notified of who the positive person to, we reach out to them and we find their status. We give them recommendations. We ask them how they're feeling, go down the list of things that are identified as COVID trigger, and then we either recommend them to a physician or we ask them to self-quarantine.
Una vez ya contactados, nosotros nos comunicamos con ellos y les damos recomendaciones y les preguntamos cómo se sienten y les preguntamos que ellos mismos se pongan en cuarentena.
But I can add that we do reach out once we know someone has been tested positive. We do find out from them who are the people that they were last in contact with so that we could inform those individuals, especially if they live in the city of Plainfield. If the people that the positive person came in contact with don't live in the city, we reach out to the health departments in those cities where those individuals live. And that is one of the ways that we deal with contact tracing, but we take it very seriously.
Bueno, esto es algo que tomamos muy en serio. Nosotros hablamos con las personas cuando ya sabemos que están también positivas. Les hablamos, les decimos con quiénes fueron las últimas personas con cuales ellos han estado en contacto. Después llamamos a esas personas, les avisamos y también les comunicamos lo que deben de hacer y nuestras sugerencias.
Let's go to the next question.
The Plainfield Special Improvement District posted this question on behalf of a local business. And as hi, my employees starting an event on Sunday, May 3rd. We are giving 500 meals from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and also giving toothpaste, soap, body wash, and more. My question is if Director Burgess can provide me a police officer from 11 to 1 to help maintain their distancing.
La pregunta es que esta persona está haciendo algo social, una ayuda social y están haciendo un evento para proveer 500 comidas, diferentes ayudas que las personas puedan necesitar y la pregunta es si es que la ciudad puede proveer una policía para ayudar con esto.
Mayor Mapp.
I would,
Director Burgess.
yes, sir.
Mayor Mapp, I was going to say before Director Burgess.
Yeah. Valerie, you can address that, but the city does know that they have a direct contact within the administration who they could always come to seek assistance. But go ahead,
Leslie
Director
Sass.
Jackson.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing you just said, Mayor. I've been talking to the Fed. I would prefer that they continue to use me as their contact, but I'll let Director Burgess answer that because that particular matter hasn't been brought to my attention.
So what I would suggest is that they give me a call at 908-753-3225, and that way we can go over the details and I can find out exactly what type of assistance is needed and how the police department can assist.
So there's no need for an entity like the city to use this medium to get answers to that question or to get support from the city. You have direct access. So I suggest you use it.
Bueno, entonces esa pregunta tienen que preguntarlo en acceso directo con la directora Valerie y si no, también pueden llamar a el número del director de policía 908-753-3225 para que puedan revisar los detalles, pero por favor estas preguntas háganlas directa y personalmente llamando a estos números.
Next question, please.
Yes, Mayor. Pastor David Agelshi says, good afternoon. Many of our church members and other members of our Plainfield community in need are asking how they can receive essential goods from food banks without going there physically. We've been trying our best to deliver essential goods to those in need to their doorsteps through donations from our members, but we just can't keep up with all the people in need in our congregation and members of our community requesting assistance. Most of these people are self-isolating due to pending COVID-19 diagnosis or actually have COVID-19 with strong symptoms. Also, apps like Instacart are not working due to high demand and they have no delivery times available.
La pregunta es que muchos de los miembros de nuestra iglesia, cómo ellos pueden recibir comidas esenciales de bancos de comida sin ir a estos bancos de comida porque muchos no pueden ir físicamente ahí porque muchos están en cuarentena esperando resultados o tienen el virus.
Director Brown, can you help with that?
If I want to make sure I understand the question, how do you reach out to the food banks when you can't go outside? Am I understanding that correctly?
Jazz, can you repeat that question?
He wanted to know if there was any way they could get assistance from the food banks without physically going there. I guess he was inquiring if any of the food banks had any type of delivery service or anything like that. Because a lot of the people that they're trying to help are isolating or are sick, yeah.
So if the pastor could get his number, we can work with him. We are working with the food bank to put food to our emergency food providers, and that's an ongoing program. So certainly if he reaches out to me, and I would certainly be able to help him. Actually, I can give you my number, 909, and take those, and we'll see what we can do from there.
So I apologize for the reception that you're getting from Director Brown's microphone. What I will ask Pastor Agelshi to do is to reach out through our Chief of Staff and Director of Communication, Jazz Clinton Hunt, and we will work with the pastor to try to bring a solution to the question that the pastor has raised.
Bueno, yo les sugiero que puedan hablar con la directora Jazz Clinton Hunt y juntos podamos encontrar una solución para la pregunta que el pastor estaba preguntando para ayudar a los miembros de su iglesia.
Mayor, if I might add something, Keisha Belton Chubb just commented that Plainfield YMCA is working with CFB&J and to deliver meals beginning next week. And she said they can email kchubb, that's KCHUBB, at GS, oh, I lost it, sorry, gsymca.org.
I will leave that based on what you just announced, but I'm not aware about Plainfield YMCA. But I'll just leave it at that. Let's move on.
Okay, Stephanie Elderlaw would like to know what you believe is driving the increase in positive cases.
La pregunta es, ¿qué piensas que está haciendo que la curva crezca en los casos positivos?
I believe that the people in Plainfield have, through some means, been able to get tested, maybe at close by neighboring health centers. And I don't think that Plainfield is any different from most other municipalities. If you look at the numbers around the state, the numbers are incredibly high. And I believe that Plainfield will be better served when we begin to see testing done here in the city of Plainfield. So even though the numbers appear to be high at this moment in time, we don't know what the true number really is. I believe that there are people who are living in very close quarters in our city and who don't necessarily have the ability to socially distance because they live in their families, and that may very well be one of the drivers. I think that from what I have observed, we have been enforcing social distancing, and our streets have been empty for the most part. The messages that we are putting out, I believe, are working. We will continue to do more, but I can't answer with any degree of certainty about what is driving the numbers up in Plainfield any more than I can in other municipalities, other than to say that we are a very densely populated city with a lot of people who are living as families, living in close quarters, and that could very well be one of the reasons for our numbers. But I am concerned that our numbers could be even higher if the people who are not able currently to access testing were to be tested. And I am hoping and praying daily for the health and well-being of the residents of our city.
Primeramente, hay muchas personas que viven en conjuntos muy cercanos en Plainfield, personas que viven muy cerca, el distanciamiento no es mucho entre cada apartamento, cada casa. Y si ves a los números alrededor del estado, en cada pueblo son muy altos, pero realmente no sabemos los números exactos, pero sabemos que cuando se va a poder hacer un sitio de prueba aquí en Plainfield, será mucho mejor porque aunque los números están altos actualmente, ahora todavía no sabemos los números verdaderos y me preocupa que puedan hacer aún más de lo que ya sabemos que hay, porque hay muchas personas que no han podido hacer la distancia social porque viven con su familia que quizás tienen el virus y no pueden distanciarse social. pero yo no puedo responder esa pregunta con certeza, pero sí me preocupa que los números puedan ser más altos, pero juntos trabajaremos para ayudar que la curva se aplane.
Let's go to the next question.
Jen, do you have any other questions?
I have one more question here regarding the homeless in Plainfield. They'd like to know if there is a process of meeting the needs of homeless citizens during the pandemic.
Repeat that, please.
Is there any process of meeting the needs of our homeless citizens during this pandemic?
La pregunta es si hay un proceso para poder llegar a las necesidades de aquellos de la tercera edad en esta pandemia.
I believe at the top or some point during this evening's live chat, I communicated that we are going to be looking out for our homeless population to the best that we can. And that beginning tomorrow, we are going to be distributing care packages to our homeless population. There are several items that I listed that are in the care packages that are going to be distributed beginning tomorrow. We are also still working on getting donations of food supplies that we could also assist our homeless population and those in need with some of those essential food items, and we will continue to work on that. But beginning tomorrow, we will be distributing care packages to our homeless population that contain a number of items that will go a long way to helping them take care of themselves in terms of sanitizing and working to keep themselves free of the virus.
Sí, nosotros estamos trabajando para la población indigente, aquellos que no tienen un hogar, y vamos a estar distribuyendo cajas donde van a haber muchas cosas que puedan ser esenciales durante ese tiempo. Comenzando mañana vamos a dar estas cajas de cariño. También estamos trabajando para recibir donaciones de comida, y comenzando mañana vamos a repartir estas cajas con esenciales para repartírselos a aquellos de tercera edad y también a aquellos los indigentes y aquellos que no tienen un hogar.
Are there any other questions?
I just have a comment, Mayor, not really a question. Julian Cherry made a comment, said that the city of Plainfield should consider using the Community Food Bank of New Jersey as a resource for food.
El comentario es que la ciudad de Plainfield debe considerar usar la comida de banco de New Jersey como fondo de comida.
Let's see if Director Brown's microphone would give us a better feed. And can you try, Director Brown, to see if you could speak to that?
We are working very well with the Community Food Bank.
Ya estamos trabajando
The
con
Community
el
Food
banco.
Bank, the Community Food Bank are helping us to provide food to our pantries so they can give it out to the people who are most in need.
Ellos nos están ayudando para ayudar a proveer comida para aquellos en nuestra ciudad más necesitada.
And I know that Julianne Sherry worked for many years with the Community Food Bank, so it's near and dear to her, and it's near and dear to us as well. The food bank is a great partner of the city of Plainfield, and so we appreciate all that they're doing, and we know they will continue to be a resource for our residents here in the city of Plainfield.
Siempre el banco de comida ha sido un recurso y una ayuda tremenda para la ciudad de Plainfield, y les agradecemos por siempre ayudarnos y brindar ayuda a la ciudad de Plainfield.
Jen, do you have anything more?
Yes, one here. Cooper asks, is crime down as a result of the pandemic?
Can you repeat the question, please? I didn't hear it that well.
Sure. Is crime down as a result of the pandemic?
La pregunta es si el crimen ha bajado a resultado de esta pandemia, por resultado de esta pandemia.
Before I go to Director Burgess, I would say that crime has been down consistently year after year ever since I took office. And so crime is down because of the many that we put in place since my administration took office back on January 1st of 2014. So we have consistently and aggressively addressed the issue of crime, and we have driven crime down by well over 50% since my administration took office. If the question is, has there been a further impact on crime as a result of COVID-19, then I would ask Director Burgess if she has any information on that.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I agree with the mayor. Crime has continued to decline since 2014. And during this last 6 weeks or so of the pandemic, I have been monitoring our crime stats, and pretty much crime continues to decline in the city of Plainfield.
Sí, la respuesta, el crimen está bajando cada año desde que nosotros tomamos la oficina en enero, el 1 de enero del 2014, y consistentemente cada año está bajando y ha bajado por 50%. Y ahora por la pandemia también sigue bajando el crimen en la ciudad de Plainfield.
But I certainly don't want to leave anyone with the impression that it's the COVID-19 that's driving crime down. It's deliberate actions on the part of this administration and the Plainfield Police Department that has resulted in a dramatic decrease in crime year after year.
Pero no quiero que dejen o que se quede la duda en los pensamientos de ustedes que ha bajado el crimen por causa del COVID-19, sino es por las acciones tomadas por la administración del alcalde y también por el gobierno municipal de Plainfield.
We'll wrap this up in about 5 minutes. Are there any more questions?
Yes, Mayor. There's a question from Deidre Howard Franzo. She wants to know what's being done about the crowd of men by the McDonald's every morning. She said no masks, no social distancing.
La pregunta es qué van a hacer sobre los hombres que se reúnen en McDonald's en las mañanas sin máscaras, no toman distancia.
I will ask Director Burgess to address that.
Yes, sir. I will say that we have spoken to them. I actually monitor that situation myself as well. For the most part, I have seen just about everyone out there with a mask on. So if there are times that I'm missing or the officers are missing that, please feel free to give us a call and let me know. I did speak with higher ups in regards to that situation to see if that was a violation of the executive order in regards to them being there for work purposes, and was told if it was for work purposes, it was not in violation of the executive order. But the mask is an executive order by the mayor, which we are enforcing, as well as if there's other violations that they are not there for the purpose of working. And that's a different issue dealing with our city and the city ordinances.
Sí, sí hemos hablado directamente con ellos y yo también, yo misma monitoreo esa situación. Hasta ahorita yo he visto cada persona ahí con mascarilla, pero si ustedes han visto otra cosa o personas sin mascarilla nos dejan saber. Yo hablé con mis autoridades y me dijeron que si las personas están ahí por causa del trabajo está bien, pero algo que sí estamos reforzando y es orden ejecutiva del gobernador es las mascarillas. Entonces estamos trabajando para mantener y sostener lo que el gobernador dijo.
And let me just stress that loitering, if you're not out for any essential business, that is in violation of the order. So if that is what you're saying that they are doing and they're not out for an essential purpose, then please continue to make those phone calls and make us aware.
También les quiero decir que si estas personas no están ahí por razones esenciales que ustedes saben, nos dejan saber porque eso sí es violación del orden que dio el gobernador.
I'll take one more question from Jen.
Okay, this question is from Susan R. Garcia, farmer. What can we do as a community to help with COVID-19? Can we give food or masks? Should we make them and hand them out?
La pregunta es como comunidad, ¿qué podemos hacer para ayudar para aliviar el COVID-19? ¿Podemos hacer mascarillas o dar comida? ¿Qué podemos hacer?
We are all in this together, and anything that any member of the community can do to help, anything that any organization can do to help, we welcome that. We need personal protective equipment, we need food supplies, and anything that you who are out there who can hear me, who's participating in this live chat, we ask you to send us your donations by check, your donations of food, and your donations of other supplies. You can drop off food and other material donations at any one of our 3 firehouses between, what are the hours again for those drop-offs?
6 to 9, Mayor.
From
I mean,
6
sorry,
to 9.
6 to 6. 6 to 6, I apologize.
All right. The fire director is telling me from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I gave that information out earlier, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can drop off donations at any of our 3 firehouses. And you can send your check donations to City Hall. If you are making masks that you want us to distribute to our residents, we welcome that. Any and all donations are welcome. I want to take this opportunity to thank our support staff that's on the phone, as well as our business partners that are on the phone, who you can't see, but who are very much a part of this broadcast. I also want to thank each and every member of our administrative team who is present on screen and who you've heard from this evening, and those that you haven't heard from. We are all a part of the same team working hard every day to tackle this insidious, invisible enemy known as COVID-19. And we are not going to rest. We're not going to spare any resources until we do the absolute best to address and to become victorious over this enemy. And we will continue to work with the county and with the state and with anyone who is able to work with us and provide us with some support so that we could defeat this virus. I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to thank Medes Church, to thank Kathleen Ogelji, who has been our translator for the last several of these live chats. And we owe the Medes Church an enormous debt of gratitude for the partnership that we have established. So I want to thank Medes Church enormously for the partnership that we've established. And I want to thank all of our residents, all of our citizens who take the time. This has been a 2-hour broadcast, who take the time to tune in and to access the information that we share this evening. Know that we are working for you, and we will not rest until we have effectively tackled the COVID-19 virus. I thank you and your families. May you be safe and may you be well. Continue to keep Plainfield and all of its families in your thoughts and prayers.
Sí, la pregunta es cualquier donaciones que ustedes puedan dar, lo recibimos. Estamos dispuestos a recibir y a trabajar con cualquier persona que está dispuesto a ayudar. Y antes de terminar esto, yo quiero darle las gracias al equipo, a mi administración, a aquellos que ustedes ven y han podido escuchar y a aquellos que ustedes no han podido escuchar o ver. Quiero también agradecer a Methodist Church y les debemos mucha gratitud por lo que ellos han sido y también a cada uno de nuestros residentes que toman el tiempo de escuchar esto. Esto ha sido 2 horas y les damos muchas gracias por escuchar y les decimos que no vamos a parar hasta que vencemos este virus juntos. Como administración estamos trabajando duro y arduamente para trabajar para que esto se pare y juntos lo lograremos. Y gracias por su apoyo, gracias por su ayuda y estamos en esto juntos.
Thank you and good night.
Muchas gracias y feliz noche.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.